Hello folks, this is 3Onion here with the first episode of City Skylines. City Skylines is a city gaming game that allows the user, the player, to build its own city and develop it into a prosper one. So, our first goal would be to connect our developing city, which is non-existent at the moment, to the outside world, and that is achieved by connecting to these two main roads, these two highway roads. So let's do just that. So I like to initially just save the connection for later when I unlock the roundabout, which I already have in here. So let's build a roundabout, because it's probably the best thing to do when you start a new city, is just build a general roundabout. So I'm just gonna ignore that these connections for a minute, because I cannot demolish them. So ignore them, because we will be connecting them individually. So like this, and we will upgrade this one like this. So I know this looks terrible at the moment, but when we unlock this highway system, they will look a lot better. So I'm just gonna change the direction of this and build this one, so it stays like this. So we have a roundabout that can move from this side to this side without intersections and without blocking movement of other cars. I know it looks horrible, but when I further develop it, it will look better. So now let's start by building our main roads. This is where we will develop our city from. I'm just going to start by building a big road from here in this place, and start around here, do something like this, and develop like this, so that we have even squares. We're going to start by building some low residential in these places, accompanied by some moderate buildings of some moderate low density commercial zone. Now what would be also interesting to know is connect this roundabout to an industrial area, which I'm tempted to do. Where can I do it? Maybe in this side? Yeah, I think I'm gonna do it. Start building the industrial area on this side. So yeah, just gonna do a straight line from here and build around this place. And what I can do is connecting the residential area to that industrial area through this place, so that the outgoing traffic and the ongoing traffic to the industrial area, I mean the export-import business, doesn't connect with the residential area. So next, what I'm gonna do is get some water. So I'm going to build a water pumping station and some windmills. Let me see where they are the strongest. Maybe in this side. I'm going to start by building some windmills for power generation, like this. And connect it all to the grid. Some water pumping station connected like this, and some sewage. And for the sewage, it would be interesting to know to which side the river is flowing, so maybe building the sewage around here so that we get minimal impact from pollution, and connected to the main druid station. So, as you can see, I also have installed the expansion pack for City Skylines. The After Dark, I have also the After Dark expansion, so I am able to get this. I am able to get the night mode, which is pretty decent. It adds an extra layer of interest to the cities. I mean, visually it is very appealing, and later on the game you also get the chance to develop industrial specific, not industrial but commercial specific areas developed to nocturnal fun, if you say so. Also, when you hit a lot of traffic, all the lights from the traffic just traveling around is also creates a pretty decent effect. So overall, this is an interesting mod. There's also some Aurora Borealis going on, I think. So I mean, overall, the After Dark is a pretty decent expansion that adds another level of visual dynamics, which is pretty interesting, I'm gonna say. I forgot to connect the water circuit to the industrial area, so I'm gonna do that now, like that. As you can see, we have a pretty high demand for industrial area, which I'm gonna be happy to supply. So what would also be interesting is, as you can see, I have a negative net balance, so I'm gonna reduce the funding for both the electric grid and the power grid. I mean, water grid and the electrical grid. As you can see, I have two distinct indicators for night and daytime usage, and for the water one, I'm gonna reduce it because I honestly don't need all this water. As you can see, I have a shit ton of water capacity available. I have 62,000 cubic meters per week, and I'm only using barely 500, so I can reduce it drastically. And I'm gonna do just that. I'm gonna cut by 50% our water budget, and this should be increase our net funding. I mean, income, our net income. And as you can see, it has already started to rise. It's now at about minus 130. And as you can see, I still have a lot of water to spare. I mean, I still have 30,000 cubic meters and I'm only using 500. So it's pretty decent. For the power, I'm not gonna mess around with it because I'm probably gonna need it pretty soon. As you can see, I only have 2 megawatts of spare power. So I'm just gonna keep it as it is. Now, as you can check it out, I already have some kind of industry pumping going on, and like I predicted in the beginning, this main road connected directly to the roundabout, to the main roundabout, serves primarily for export-import business through these trucks, avoiding thus that they come through the residential area, creating noise and pollution. I have a huge demand, obviously, for residential, so I'm gonna build a little more of residential area. So I have expanded the residential area, and meanwhile I have unlocked several buildings. One of them, garbage disposal. So, to avoid accumulating garbage, I'm going to have to build a dump site for the garbage. I was just wondering where can I place the dump site as to not affect the residential area mainly. I mean all the areas, but mainly the residential area. So I was planning on building somewhere around here, to which I'm just gonna expand a little bit this road so we can develop further down the road this place, and I'm gonna build a side road to our garbage dump. It is gonna be somewhere around here in the city limits. It's near a water place, so in the real life I wouldn't advise building garbage dumps so close to the water, but this is a game, so whatever, right? So I have now garbage disposal in place, and what I can do is, as you can see, I already have a net weekly income of plus 1700, which is pretty decent. What I can build is a medical clinic and a school. I think I'm going to start by building a medical clinic, and I'm going to build it in a central location. Don't know where though. I'm going to start by building it in a more central location, probably in here. Let me see the area of influence. And as you can see, I'm already having a shortage of power, so I'm just going to start by building in power first. No, actually what I'm going to do is increase the budget, because it's cheaper than building another turbine straight away. The reason I'm going with wind turbines is because they don't pollute, and they are pretty cost effective in the long term. Yeah. As you can see, they only produce like 8 megawatts versus the 40 megawatts of the coal power plant. However, the upkeep, as you can see, the upkeep per megawatt is much more cost effective in the wind turbine. $40 megawatts, 8 megawatts. I mean, if you have 10 wind turbines producing 8 megawatts, that's 80 megawatts, and only 800 money per week. However, in the coal power plant, you produce so much power as 5 wind turbines, and the upkeep is I mean, the upkeep is 120, I believe, superior to the upkeep of the same amount of wind turbines. So wind turbines in the ultimately are more cost effective. Why am I getting a shortage of water? I still have plenty of water. That's the pipes, of course. So I'm just going to expand the network of pipes to include this one, and I'm once again having a shortage of power, so I'm just going to add another wind turbine to our aeolic park, which combines clean energy with sewage dumping. That's also very eco-friendly. Not. So, like I was saying, I'm going to build a medical place. I'm going to build it around here, and I'm also going to build a school also around here on the other side of the street. That's also good. So now we have a medical clinic and a school, and as you can see, our net income, despite these 2 new services, is still we still have a plus value of 1000, which is pretty decent. And we can still reduce the budget. I'm going to reduce the budget of the school. Let me study this for a while to see how we can influence this. Yeah, I'm going to cut by half the clinical, by 74% the school one. I'm going to leave the garbage for now. Okay, we can only use 2 ambulances. In here we can only teach 165 students. So let's see if this is enough. If it isn't enough, we'll increase it. And we'll increase it just like that. So I'm gonna rename it to, we are in the West Valley place, so I don't know, West Valley Clinic. How fucking original. And this could be, I don't know, Nikola Tesla. Nikola Tesla Elementary. There, not testing. That's not Chuck Tesla. Tesla. Okay, why not? So that's our city for now. Let's continue building upon it and see what we can do with it. I still haven't unlocked the other roads. I need more population to do so. So let's just build a little more residential area. I think I'm gonna start expanding to this side. I still haven't unlocked the parts. I wanted to build some parts, but we can always demolish things later on, so that's no problem for now. And for now we are safe. So I'm just gonna add another block in here, and maybe no, that's not what I want. Maybe build a road like this, connected to here, so we can add a little diversity to the layouts of our streets. Just build in here, build all around this place. There. Okay. It's covered by our water network, so we have an extra few buildings. So folks, we just obtained the firehouse and the police house. I'm gonna start by building a firehouse, and it's gonna save the police house for later. I'm probably gonna build it somewhere closer to the industrial area, because the industrial area is where fires usually happen. So what I'm going to do is maybe start a road, probably another main road that goes from here and follows up north, just like this, intercepts that road over there, like so. And I'm going to build the firehouse in here. Maybe put houses on this side. I'm going to demolish these electrical lines later on. So, but for now they are not a problem. No, there's random people just walking across this place. Okay. So as you can see, our city is going just fine. There isn't a lot of traffic, and the main trucks just go about the roundabout and go back to the main highway. As you can probably see in here, yes, exactly. And the cars go through the main street. Yeah. So overall we have a peaceful town, which is pretty decent. We have a slight demand for industrial, so I'm going to build a little more industrial area. And I can also set policies like water and power usage. However, I pay a lot to enforce these policies, so I'm going to wait until I have a larger net income to apply some of these policies. So that's going to be in standby. What I can also see is resources. I can see where some resources are located. For example, I can now see that we have an agricultural, we have fertile land on this side, so I'm gonna probably develop an agricultural place in this place somewhere in the future. But for now I'm just gonna let it be in the general semi-industrial place that it is now, and develop a little bit more so that some expansion can occur. Leave it be like this. But yeah, I think I'm gonna build a farming place around that place. And I guess this concludes the first episode of City Skylines. So if you like, please drop a like. If you don't, please let me know. So Freonian out.